All right, well, welcome to the Tape It. All right, well, welcome to the Tape It Till You Make It podcast.
Oh, that's in. That's it. That's our intro.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tape It Till You Make It. I am your host, Taylor Livingston, Customer Success Manager here at Noravera Visuals, and I am joined by our very special, newly appointed maybe not so newly appointed, project manager, Sarah Devlin. Thank you so much for being on the show with us today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Hey, always good to be on another episode of Tape It Till You Make It.
I know.
I really feel like I'm finally starting to get into a bit of a groove
Yeah.
at this whole podcast thing. So
Kind of gives you like a high from it, you know. You're kind of like,
it does.
ooh,
Yeah,
adrenaline, you know.
you get the pregame jitters,
Yeah.
but then you dive in and
then swoosh, baby, Kobe.
absolutely, yeah.
R.I.P.
You're still fired up on the basketball. I got you.
Yeah. Well, there's a basketball game last night.
And
we're in the playoffs right now. Suns against Milwaukee Bucks. So.
And who's your team?
Suns. I'm rooting
Suns?
for them.
Is it
they're
3-2 right
good.
now?
It is 2-2.
2-2. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bucks pulled through with the win last night.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know if anybody can tell who I'm rooting for. Obviously, from the.
So when's the next game then?
I think it's Sunday. What day was yesterday? Gosh, Wednesday, right?
Wednesday.
I think, or maybe Saturday. Usually it's like every 2 days or something.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. And why the Suns? Why are they your team?
I don't know. I just feel like this season they've really been kicking butt.
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
They're
Just
on
choose the winner.
fire.
Nice.
I don't know.
Just like seeing a team on fire. It's fun.
I've
Get caught
never
up in the
really
energy.
liked Chris Paul, who is now on the Suns this season.
Yeah.
But he has been doing an amazing play. Like, so
Yeah.
good, except
I
for
keep
last night.
hearing the name. What's the nickname that he has right
CP?
now? CP.
CP3.
CP3.
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't hold me to being like a basketball fan. My fiance obviously loves basketball, and I've gotten into it, and I'm pretty stoked on watching it. But
Yeah.
you can't ask me who my favorite player is or anything like that.
Well, I've definitely felt the energy in like huddles and things. Like you definitely bring in the stoke on
Yeah.
the basketball, so that's good.
yeah, I can't play it.
No,
But I
never
can
played.
watch it. Casually.
Yeah.
You know, when you
Yeah.
what is it? You play like horse.
Yeah.
Like first one to horse. Or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like a 5'8", maybe 5'9". If I'm like on a dating profile, I would say 5'9". But
Yeah.
I remember in high school, I played basketball all the way until grade 10. But I was like the tallest kid in grade 8, and then I just like stopped growing.
Oh.
And so by grade 10, I was like still trying to be a forward, but I was like one of the shortest guys on the court.
Oh no.
So I ended up retiring out of that. But I remember Steve Nash playing for the Phoenix Suns when he won MVP, Victoria Boy. So Phoenix Suns definitely would have my vote over. Don't have a huge attachment to Milwaukee.
Yeah, I don't really have either. No one. Usually, I'll get like I'll like a player. Like I'm a Warriors fan because I really like Steph and Clay, who obviously hasn't been able to play the past couple of seasons. So I always am cheering for the Warriors because I love those players.
Yeah, no, it's good enough reason. I mean, a lot of those players are out there playing for themselves anyways. They don't really have any ties to these teams. But yeah, awesome. It is sweet to see sports going full bore.
I know.
Seeing events that are starting to take place, seeing like
people are going back on tour. I've been seeing so many
crazy.
tour announcements.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few as well. Who you've been keeping an eye on?
So obviously our topic is a little bit about COVID.
Totally.
So
And life thereafter.
Yeah.
Not that we're there yet, but we're getting there.
March 2020, I had tickets to Snow Allegra concert.
Ooh, nice. I don't know who that is.
She's like a Swedish R&B singer.
Nice.
And
I like
she
that.
just dropped her latest album, and it is hot fire.
Awesome.
But obviously her tour at that time was for her latest album, which she now has another one out. I had tickets, everything, and she canceled like the day before, which obviously I was like, better that she cancel it. I still have my money, and like I can just buy the new tickets when she goes back. But I'm like, okay, we're all getting vaccinated. Time to come back now.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking, like I want to go and see you. Like,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, maybe we'll pause for a second for everybody to download the new Snow Allegra CD while they're on Spotify listening to us here.
So good.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
I actually might pause the show just to make sure I get the new. That's
I'll
awesome.
follow up with you in a week to see if you've listened to it.
Nice. Yeah, for me, I've like it's crazy. I've spent so much time in Latin America, and I have definitely a love for the reggaeton music. And I've been really wanting to get to a pool party in Vegas.
Whoa.
I've never done a pool party and a reggaeton concert, so putting two in one, and doing a weekend of fun in October is kind of what I'm hoping for my first concert back. Hopefully I'll do something before that.
Oh yeah.
Live shows are the best for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Energy is high when it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you end up getting to any of the festivities this last weekend with the soccer going on?
The finale of the soccer game. My fiance's family is obviously Italian.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that's so obvious.
Right. For people who don't know, but for me, it's obvious. So obviously they were watching the game, but I chose to go look at a cat. So I missed pretty much the most of it, and I came back like just after they had won, which was really exciting. I'm not a huge soccer fan, but okay, again, with COVID, so we had tickets to go on like a Europe trip for June, July of 2020, and we had tickets to the Euro at that time in, I want to say London. So it was going to be the semifinals of obviously whoever made it to the semifinals game.
Right.
So it was like really sad, like, having to, luckily we didn't book any flights or anything just yet. We only had the Euro tickets because obviously we wanted to snag them as soon as we could.
Yeah. That's first priority.
Yeah. But we couldn't go to obviously them coming back now. So
Fair
it would have
enough.
been sick to watch though.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, like our topic today is about life after COVID, and maybe that's not the most appropriate name because I mean a lot of people think that we're always going to have COVID around, but I think like life after having a good handle on what COVID is, and everybody's watching Delta variant closely, but yeah, I mean there was no restrictions at the soccer finals.
Because you went out, didn't you?
I was out on Commercial Drive, so I was like in the Italian sector.
Yeah,
I mean I was cheering for Italy because I was with my very Italian friend. But I probably have more ties to England.
Oh yeah.
So at first I didn't care, and then I kind of felt guilty. And then when Italy won, I was like, oh, thank God I didn't cheer for England.
They're so like,
yeah.
Like,
it was a lot of fun, and there was a lot of Brits that were out there that were celebrating as well, and a lot of England fans. So yeah, it was an amazing experience to be out there and just see that things are returning to normal.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, like I think it'd be a good thing to kind of chat a little bit about what normal is now. I mean, maybe not so much what normal is now, but what normal used to be.
Yeah.
Like it'll be interesting for companies and for people to kind of get back to what this new normal is and try to see what's happened, because a lot has changed over the last year.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know, maybe because you've been here since before COVID-19 kind of took over business life.
Crazy.
COVID-19 coronavirus.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe you could just kind of like let us know what life was like before there even was any chatter of this coronavirus that was out there in different parts of the world, what it was like to work at Noravera.
Yeah. A lot of touching. No, just kidding. Sorry if that's inappropriate. Obviously we like people HR. Obviously before that no one really thinks about germs or I don't know, like little things like standing with so close to people. I mean, we're all a very close-knit group of individuals. Like our work culture is very family oriented. So it's like, it felt so weird to be like, no, we have to be 6 feet distance. Like,
Were you a big hand washer
I was a big hand washer.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself a germaphobe, but I am quite aware of, what are they called? Escalators.
Okay.
Is it escalators?
Yeah, escalators, like in the
the
mall
handles.
and stuff. Yeah.
Don't it? No.
Yeah.
Gross. Those are disgusting.
Yeah.
Really gross.
I think that I think that's a good way to be, just so you know. And I think I used to be a little too extreme with germs are good for you.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm not I'm not a Howie Mandel. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Because he's a germaphobe.
Yeah.
Some bacteria is good for you because we all have bacteria, but there are some things that are just kind of like, if you think about it, that's kind of disgusting.
Totally. Yeah. And definitely I would say like mall escalators and things. I still have caught myself being in the mall recently, putting my hand down, but I
Mm.
definitely think about it more now where I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, maybe not.
That's kind
Sometimes I'll use my elbow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Just when you really,
Just to
when
like
it's
guide
a really
because sometimes
fast
when
escalator,
when
just
you're like going to
balance.
step on, and I always just like okay, or like right here on my forearm, like underneath.
Have you ever gotten onto an escalator that is not moving because it's
So
under maintenance?
trippy, isn't it? But you like kind of step on and you kind of do like a double take because you're like, whoa, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you totally know it's not moving.
Yeah.
You watch your foot step on it. You
Yeah.
still have this whoa
Yeah. It's crazy,
moment.
right?
Yeah.
You're so accustomed.
And then everybody's yelling at you because 5 minutes later you're still standing there. Yeah, that's awkward. Everybody experiences that, right?
Yeah. Not just us, right?
Yeah.
I also have a fear of off topic, but I have a fear of escalators. I think it's the Granville one that's like super, super steep.
Going in from the station.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Or I think it's Granville.
Yeah, it's a steep one. It's at the
man, I can't.
center of city there.
Yeah, going down, I have to look up if I'm going down, and then if I'm going up, I just have to like hold myself close to like the
Wow.
yeah.
Like maybe even both elbows.
if I'm wide enough, you know. But yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, close knit team.
Mhm.
We wouldn't go as far as saying touchy feely around the office, but like not too concerned about germs.
Mhm.
And what was kind of going on when shoots were happening during COVID times? Was there anything that we were doing that was to make sure that things stayed sanitized or people were keeping their distance, masks?
Mm-hmm. I remember the first shoot. So this was already obviously scheduled before we shut down because we shut down like March 13th or that week or something. And we had a shoot already scheduled for like 2 weeks later with like talent and things like that. And we were all kind of like, do we do it? Do we not do it? Do we, and like asking obviously the crew if they're comfortable, the talent if they're comfortable, and everyone, because it was still fairly new, we're like, I think I'm okay. And we're like, okay, we just have to like social distance, wear masks, like we're okay to do this, right? And then we just ended up canceling it.
Yeah.
Because we're like, you know what? Like, let's play safe. There's so much unknown. Even if we do social distance, we're mass sanitized, like unsure, right?
Yeah.
And then I think we started to do a couple shoots in, I want to say like July, June area. And it was just like high important crew members only. Like no one who doesn't need to be there should be there. Social distancing, masks at all times, hand sanitizer a lot, wash your hands whenever you can. Where we used to do crafty, it would just be kind of like an open table and like free for all, but then we started doing like individual like brown packed bags.
Would crafty be like
is your food?
Your food.
Yeah.
Okay,
so like,
cool.
If you're hungry for a snack, lunch, things like that too, it was all just like made sure that we're, being clean and we're not all touching the same thing. If you're not in like the camera department, you're not touching the camera gear if you don't need to. And just things like that. And then for bigger sets, we had a COVID compliance officer on set with us as well, who literally just goes around and is like, you two, you need to be farther away. Have you sanitized in a while? Sanitize. And it's like always being on us, which was obviously super helpful and nice to be like constantly reminded. And then after a while, you just kind of, like everyone was calling it, the new normal. Like it was, that's what it kind of felt like.
Yeah, like that's actually like kind of what I was wondering, because with all of this, I'm sure that some people were getting a little freaked out. I mean, we've kind of been quite fortunate here in BC and in Coastal Health, Vancouver, for not really having like a large amount of cases, but we didn't really know that back then. I'm wondering, like, was it freaky at all to be on set? Were you finding that people were concerned, talent were concerned, that you were concerned? Were you really like cautious, or were you just doing these rules because they were the rules and nobody wanted to get shut down from business?
I think we all wanted to be like on the safe side. We wanted to make sure everyone was comfortable. Like we checked with everyone too when you were hiring talent, crew, like this is the amount of people that's coming. Are you comfortable? Making sure that people aren't saying yes to things that they don't want to.
Right.
And it's crazy to think about it too, because I think the results were showing like back in August of 2020, we only really had like 50 cases a day.
Yeah.
I want to say. And we were still already at that time, like still like hand sanitize, 6 feet apart, making sure. And we were all still like, okay, we all have to be careful.
Yeah.
And then didn't really start to pick up till after that. But by that time, we were so accustomed to it that it was just like 6 feet, stay away.
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer, wash your hands, blah, blah, blah. Like it was like repetitive but everyone knew what to do.
Yeah, I think honestly, almost from like a work standpoint more so than a social standpoint, it was a bit easier because it's just we're professionals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that's what's expected of us. We don't want to be on the wrong side of history.
Yeah.
You don't want to be feeling guilty, like leaving work and being like, did I give COVID-19 to people?
Yeah.
You know, it was amazing at first how spooked some people were. You know, they'd touch something in the grocery store and not take it.
Everyone was washing their like groceries coming home. I don't know if you ever
leaving them in the garage.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. That was what the recommendations were. And I think it was like one of those things where for me, it was, I never really felt scared. But I definitely didn't want to be doing anything that would, you know, if something were to happen, that it would be because of something that I did. So I was pretty cautious with everything, at least in the first few months before we had like a bit more information, in order just to make sure that, I didn't want to be causing any issues and making things any more extreme than they already were.
Yeah.
And so did we put anybody, like, I know you're saying you only had like essential crew there. Was there any way that we were getting like essential crew there without having them there? I know like there was talk in the office the other day about bringing people in digitally, like on the Pinterest shoot. I think that we also had things. So that's like, you know, would be something that we'd probably do anyways. But are there some things that we like learned during COVID that you think that we'll be taking into our new age of video production?
Yeah. I was talking about this the other day, but before COVID, we didn't know Zoom.
Yeah. What's that?
Exactly. And it's
like the Mazda 3? Zoom.
Oh man, I remember those commercials.
Great commercials. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we aspire to do here at Noravera. We want to be the next Zoom.
Yeah. Wasn't there like a specified Mazda kid who would like on during those commercials, like he would be Zoom.
Yeah.
Did they ever show him, or was it just his voice? I feel it.
I'm sure that
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I remember the song as well.
I just remember the sound.
Zoom.
Zoom.
I'm sorry, with the microphone, it just makes me want to get some karaoke going.
That's one thing I miss, and that's like one thing we have to get back to.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's like one of the biggest things that like you have to wait for because it's one microphone for X amount of people.
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen events even during COVID-19 that people have been wiping it with a sanitizing wipe.
Okay,
I think it's doable now. Yeah, absolutely. Just as long as nobody gets to dancing when you turn it up another notch, you know, it's hard to resist sometimes.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait. Okay. What was? Okay. So Zoom. We weren't familiar with Zoom, and it's so funny because January of 2020 there was like a really bad snow day where like me as one person, I couldn't make it into office because I was busing in and like transit, and it was like snow. Like for some reason every time it snows in Vancouver, it's like we don't know how to operate and everything just shuts.
It's not like we don't know how to operate. We legitimately do not know how to operate.
Like we're not accustomed to. So I couldn't make it into office, so we started testing out this Zoom to like make sure everyone could still work. And so we had already kind of dabbled in it, and it was like for a week or something. And so when COVID hit, it was like, okay, that Zoom that we were doing, like let's try and get on this. And we shifted to working from home. We legit thought it was going to be like a week of working from home, and then we would be back. A lot of the office plants, RIP.
Oh
died.
No. Oh no, froze to death.
Yeah. So we learned Zoom, we learned working from home, and now it's really cool. Like we have people who are able to go back home and like work remotely and, you know, still be working. Yeah. It's very awesome.
And that was in January.
Yeah.
So you guys like
a little bit ahead of the time.
A little bit ahead of the time. I heard that the Noravera team was quite ahead of the time with getting set up for remote work. I know that was on one of our past episodes. If you remember the name, you can maybe plug that one. I think it was like the work from home episode. Yeah. Episode 2, I think. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you can learn about how Jeff Livingston, my brother, is also a psychic. And
Did he
was looking
predict?
he predicted. Yeah. It was one of those things that he
Like-
was like super ahead of the times
Yeah.
with realizing what an issue COVID-19 was going to be.
Yeah.
And it totally could have went either way, that he could have looked like he was like way too paranoid, watching way too much news.
Mm-hmm.
But
He definitely was, like, when it was all going down, he was like, what do we do, guys? Like, I think we should. And, like, I think it was good to have someone like that,
yeah.
you know, to, like, because if some of us were all like, oh, it's fine. It's, again, no one wants to feel like we just brought in a variant to
Yeah.
all of our coworkers. We
Totally.
don't want to be those people. So for him to be like, let's be extra cautious and let's just all work remotely and, like, take precaution. And now we have these new systems, we can do it, and we've gotten so good at it. Like, we do morning huddles every morning. We do, like, afternoon check-ins.
We have our new super high-tech Owl 360 cam technology.
I wouldn't really call it super tech, but it's tech.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's shooting 4K or anything. And the digital zoom is
It's a little strange.
not
It's,
not
like,
keeping the
slowly,
quality
like,
there.
just,
Yeah. Anyways, look up the Owl on Amazon if you're wanting to see what that's all about. We're trying to find fun new ways to have our morning huddles, and I don't think that we've found it quite yet.
Yeah. But if you have any recommendations to our viewers and listeners,
Yeah.
let us know. Yeah, because now that we're obviously, Jeff being amazing as he is, he's like, yeah, if you want to work from home one day, work in the office, like most of us have started coming back in regularly, which is awesome. And then obviously now us all being in the same room to do the morning huddle, it's like, how do we make sure everyone can be seen properly and be heard? So if you have any recommendations of tech, let us know.
Absolutely.
We want to be the cool kids on the block.
Yeah,
Ahead of the time.
we do. We do.
Trendsetters.
And I think we are in a lot of ways.
I
And
think
like,
we are.
yeah, long before I came here, I'm trying to think. Like, I know that we have pretty flexible schedules.
Oh, that's another thing that we just did.
This is definitely very on topic for what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Or for what we are hoping to talk about. I don't think we've gotten there yet.
I think we're kind of talking about it.
I think so. I'm just teasing. But yeah, like in work after COVID-19 or work in a new regulationless COVID-19 situation, yeah, we definitely have been trying to figure out schedules that work for us. I can see just the collaboration with John, our creative director, and Jeff, our CEO, with just making sure that everybody is on the best schedule that works for them.
Yeah.
Because I think they're realizing that what's going to work best for the employees, and we are a team of 11 now, so it's a little easier to let people decide kind of what their schedules are going to be. But we all have different ways of living our lives.
Yeah.
And for some of us, it's going to work to do a 4-day work week. For some of us, for me, for example, in a sales role, 4-day work week is very tough because I would always be trying to avoid time off. So I'm just wondering, like, because we were on a 4-day work week for how long?
Yeah. So before COVID, we were the regular 9 to 5.
So
Monday
it
to
was totally a
Friday.
COVID-19 thing.
It was totally, once COVID hit and, you know, obviously businesses were all affected, work was starting to slow down. We were like, you know what? Let's try this 4-day work week thing. So we did Monday to Friday, like 10-hour days, or Monday to Thursday, sorry. And then we had 3-day weekends. And at that time, because it was summertime, like we couldn't really do much, but it was still nice to be off.
Yeah.
Right. And then coming back into it, we're like, you know, business starting to pick up. It gets complicated because clients obviously still work. Most people work Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
And we want to be there for our clients being on meetings. So we do Monday to Thursday, 8 to 6, and then half days on Friday, which is nice because then we're off at like lunchtime and we have the rest of the day. And now it's like, yeah, what works best for you is.
And you know, here's a question for you. How do you think that a client would have handled you telling them that you can't meet on Friday because you don't work Fridays before COVID compared to now?
So when we originally first switched over, we had like an out of office email response, and going into it, we were also like Thursdays, we were like, hey, we're off tomorrow. We've recently swapped to a 4.
Just
a lot
rubbing
of them,
it in.
I think it kind of felt like that because a lot of them were like, oh man, that sounds so nice.
We are also hiring.
Hit us up for business. During COVID, a lot of people were like, well, that's pretty awesome. Like that would be nice. I think before COVID, I don't know how people would react.
Yeah.
I honestly don't.
It definitely, like from what I remember, there wasn't I don't know if anybody that is like a household name or anything would have been doing something like that.
Yeah.
I know that like Iceland now is doing the 4-day work week,
Mm-hmm.
8 hours a day and same salaries and everything being kept.
Mm.
And the reasoning is if people just have less hours to do it, they'll just
Do it.
barrel down,
Yeah.
head down, and get it done.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is definitely a good study to observe and see what happens there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it definitely is a new kind of work landscape. There's been a lot of people. I know I keep talking to the office about the Great Resignation. I just love the name.
That's a good name.
The Great Resignation.
Yeah.
So if you haven't heard about the Great Resignation, it's what they're talking about with millennials, which would include myself and Sarah. I think you're
I'm on the cusp.
on the cusp.
I am
Maybe Gen Z.
No,
Gen Z.
I'm one of those people who are like in the middle of Gen Z and millennial. I am a
Just
millennial,
lost.
but those people will understand. If you know what I'm talking about, it's that
The
feeling of like,
Snapchatters.
I'm not a millennial, but I'm not exactly Gen Z,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
on that cusp kind of thing.
Cool. But like, do you feel like you kind of like vibe with understanding why people would start to be looking for other
100%.
places to work?
Yeah.
And I was saying that in our company meeting this morning, and it was just funny. My brother, the CEO, was saying that, shh, don't tell the team that everybody is resigning from their jobs. But I think that it's people that are working in video production and in marketing and with agencies and creative agencies. I think that there's probably, if you were to look at it, there's going to be a lot less people that are looking to resign from kind of the creative space, because I do feel like a lot of people have that creative side, and they move into roles that are less creative and and they find less passion in what they're doing. And so it's a lot of those people that have been reflecting and looking to do things. Like, I bet you there's going to be a lot more competitors coming in the next 5-10 years in video production, as video becomes more and more important, and more people are wanting to flex their creative muscle and do things that are less mundane and get out and shoot and have flexible schedules. So I don't see Noravera all of a sudden having 33% of us all disappear anytime soon. But yeah,
Should we
I mean,
just play a practical joke on Jeff one day and just like all of us
I'm in.
resign.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is a
and yeah,
joke.
all of us.
But we have to like sign a paper that says like this is a joke. So I don't know, in case he takes it seriously. He's
Sign
like, yeah,
a
okay,
piece of-
goodbye.
Oh. Sign a piece of paper that's dated, or do some sort of like NFT that's time stamped.
Yeah.
With,
This is a joke.
yeah, this was a joke before you fired us.
Yeah.
This isn't us asking for forgiveness. Yeah. I think yeah. I mean, is April 1st too far away?
Oh yeah, we just missed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be a little far. The Great Resignation might be over by then. And then it's just a cruel joke.
Yeah.
Not even with the times.
Yeah. But I think Finland. I think it's
Iceland,
Finland.
I think.
No, but I think Finland before COVID.
Oh, okay.
We're working. I don't know why I have this weird obsession with Finland, and I think it's
I think
because
it's
of
they're
their.
great. I do. I'm
Are
a
you-
big fan of Finland.
are
And
you?
I know we've been talking about fans.
Yeah.
I'm a true fan of Finland. I've traveled
A
with
Finland
Finns a
fan?
lot. They're a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to get to Helsinki.
Never been to Finland. I know nothing about it. I only have heard.
Are you a fan though?
I can't say I'm a fan.
Okay.
There's certain things that I've heard about that there. I'm pretty sure it's there, or maybe like Switzerland as well.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Switzerland.
Okay.
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
That-
Money launderer or
No.
no?
What is it that fan? But
I'm gonna get that cut.
but I think just in regards to like their work method and their like education method, it has always been ahead of their time. And I'm pretty sure Finland was already doing like a 4-day work week,
Yeah.
but like an 8-hour thing, and similar to what Iceland has now started doing, is what you were saying? Iceland?
Yeah, that's what I heard
Ireland?
most recently. Iceland. Yeah.
Yeah. So for that, I was always like, whoa. When we shifted over, I was like, whoa, it's kind of like Finland. Like,
Yeah.
Sweet. That's cool.
So we have just recently been told that we can kind of set up our own work weeks, and we're trying to keep. It's not every week that we're going to be changing, but next week we will be starting in our new times.
I haven't even thought about it. I think
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going
I
to do
was
the
just about to ask you what it is.
I think I'm going to do the 2 20-hour days.
2 20-hour days.
And
I'm
then
doing
just, like,
140.
Yeah. Right? Like,
Not to one up you.
just going to go for the full 40
Yeah,
hours.
I've got 12 5-hour energies. So that way I can still get a grouse grind in after work.
Oh, no, you're one of those.
Should we start talking about your cat?
I think we were actually.
Yeah.
You said that was pretty selfish that I don't bring him in here.
Well, I just think that, in this new work culture that the world is seeing with all the people that have pets nowadays, for those of us that don't have pets,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Do you want a pet?
So here's the thing.
Let's go into it.
I love pets.
Okay.
I love pets so much.
Yeah.
I love dogs more than cats, but I love cats.
Yeah.
And I don't see why we have to be cats versus dogs kind of thing. But
same. Okay.
what I'm trying to say is that I love dogs and pets so much,
Yeah.
but I also love to travel and
Oh,
adventure so much
Mhm.
that I don't believe it's right to keep animals cooped up, and if you can't be a fully responsible owner.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I definitely have a feeling about that. And,
Mm.
this might be a bit of a, I don't know what the word is, but an opinion that not everybody agrees with,
Yeah.
a controversial opinion.
Okay.
But I know I've seen people that see homeless people that are living downtown,
Mhm.
and they have a dog with them, and they're always like, "Oh, that's not fair for the dog." And sometimes you'll see people that are working, I don't know, for example, as a lawyer, who have a nice house that they keep their dog in all day,
That's
and
awesome.
they work past 5 o'clock, and then they get home at 8 o'clock. The dog still hasn't gone out. They're too tired. They don't really take it out.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, this person that's living downtown in the streets, often you'll always see them. They have a full thing of dog food for their dog. Their dog is man's best friend,
Yeah.
and they're legitimately outside. And yeah, they're in traffic, which is not great, but they're
Yeah.
outside hanging out with their best friend
Yeah.
all day.
All
And
day,
I always see
24/7.
them looking after their dogs properly. So it's I think the more that you can be around your dog, and that's why I think it's so great to be able to bring your dog into the office,
Mhm.
because they get all that social interaction with everybody, because they're just such social beings.
Yeah.
And yeah, they need love and support as well. So I definitely intend to get back to some traveling in the future. And my mom and Luna's grandma, my brother's dog,
Mhm.
she has it very good, because my mom always steps up to the plate. So
Yeah.
there is that option, but I don't really want to rely on other people. And so I will get a dog for sure, but it's gonna be a little while, and I need to have a partner living with me, so that
Yeah.
we can take turns with looking after it on weekends and things like that.
I was
So-
gonna say, whatever animal you get, bird, hamster, whatever, I will always be here
Oh,
to
okay.
animal sit.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if you have a dog or a cat, Carrie would love to animal sit for you as well.
Yeah. Yes. You know what? You're right. I think probably the last 3 minutes of me talking about why I don't have a pet is
not a good enough
not a good
excuse.
enough excuse for sure. Yeah. But I need a dog that can rock climb. That's what I need.
You need a small enough dog that can go into
There you
a
go.
little baby holder that you could rock climb in the. I really want a dash hound
Yeah.
because of Carrie used to dog sit for Fringe.
I am the worst at dog names.
Oh, so
I
you
have
don't know?
no
Okay,
idea.
Wiener dog.
I don't even know what a golden retriever is. Okay, I know a wiener dog.
Zoom in on my side eye when he said he didn't know what a golden retriever was. A wiener dog?
Like Shadow from Homeward Bound. Wiener dog. Okay, I know
Yeah.
wiener dogs.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Essentially a dash hound. There you
Yeah.
go. We're getting
Ah.
our behind the scene camera.
Beautiful. I
showing
have a
us
friend
some
with a
Google
dog like
images.
that. His name's Snoop. Yeah.
That's
Snoopaloop.
so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, those are the perfect. I saw a TikTok video of a woman who was horseback riding, and she had her little dash hound in a dog carrier on her chest, and just while she was riding her horse. I aspire to be that.
I always thought a wiener dog was the worst adventure dog, but now I realize you just carry it.
You
and
just
then
carry it
it's
everywhere.
down for any adventure.
Yeah.
You can take them skydiving.
They are obsessed with. Most animals are obsessed with their owner, but when I dog sit Fringe when Carrie was away.
Fringe. It's a good name.
It's a good name,
Yeah.
and he follows you everywhere.
Yeah.
He wants to be wherever you are and touching you at all times, which is
And that's why people needed a pet during COVID.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
for those cuddles and just love from an animal is love like no other.
Yeah.
No offense to my fiance.
It's definitely the true definition of I don't remember the word. What is that love? Unconditional love. Unconditional love. It's the definition of unconditional love. Because I'm another uncontroversial opinion. I don't think that you should love somebody unconditionally.
No?
No, I don't.
What do you think?
I think that if somebody's doing terrible, terrible things that they weren't doing when you first fell in love with them, then you should stop being in love with them. Like if you become a bad person, that's conditionally like that. Yeah. So unconditional love is overrated.
Yeah.
Because you should really like love the person that has integrity and loves you back.
Yeah.
Because if they don't love you back and you stop loving them, then you don't have unconditional love for them.
Yeah. There obviously there are like different circumstances.
Yes.
You know, you fall in love with someone and they can put on like a facade of who they really are, and then you're in too deep, and
yeah, it's just
mental
easier to
awareness
stay
and
with them
everything.
for the next 60 years living a lie, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, so we have talked about
The best thing about Taylor is we could just talk for hours. Like just keep going. This whole time when we were setting up, he was like, "Where's my snare?"
You know, some brutally honest insight is whether we should be more focused on the business side of things, or if we should just be chatting about how we handle the work. Yeah.
Yeah, we're.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. No worries.
Okay,
Yeah.
we
You know
are,
what?
we're
So we
getting
just
the
got
behind the
feedback
scenes.
from our creative director, and it turns out we do talk too much. So no need to let us know anything about that. We're gonna wrap things up here. He is just joking. I think.
No,
Yeah.
he's not.
No,
I
he's
don't
not.
think he's.
Yeah.
Not to be mean to us. There's everyone's on a tight schedule today, and we're in a studio, which obviously needs to be utilized by other people. So
Yeah.
Taylor's like, damn it.
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you so much, Sarah, for being on the show and filling me in on a bit of what Noravera went through during COVID-19 and how things were before. I'm sure loving how things are now, and they only seem to be getting better and better as I really see business owners reflecting on what is most important for not only themselves and more importantly, but for their employees.
Yeah.
And so,
Good work culture.
Yeah, it is. It is about work-life balance these days, especially in the city of Vancouver.
Yeah.
And it is leading to a lot of productivity at work. I must say, it seems like every day we're giving shout-outs for the team just being on a roll, smashing their daily tasks.
Taylor's just trying to keep recording. So.
No. We will sign off, but thank you so much for listening. Once again, this is Sarah Devlin, our guest. I am Taylor Livingston at Noravera Visuals. Please do make sure to subscribe on YouTube or Spotify, whichever you are listening on. And stay tuned for more great episodes. Thank you.
That was an awesome.